very much for coming.
Thank you.
Nigerians are very happy that they have this kind of forum to talk to you. I will start by asking you what you think about the Nigerians in diaspora. What's your opinion of them?
Well, Nigerians in diaspora are Nigerians. So they are brothers and sisters, they are people, and they are well-trained people, resourceful people, and people who have been also successful in their host countries, and a group of people that will believe we can harness for greater development and growth of our dear country. And that is why I'm here, that is why Mr. President has sent us to come and interact with diaspora Nigerians in the Americas, in Europe and elsewhere. Mr. President has continued to insist that every Nigerian anywhere must be accounted for. And he now feels at this point in time that we should bring government not just closer to the people at the grassroots, but also close to people in diaspora. So that's why we're here. We're very happy today that Nigerians in Atlanta, Georgia came out in their numbers to be here at this town hall meeting. And we've brainstormed, we've shared experiences and information. And I think on both sides, we are all better for it. And we're going to go home very happy, enriched with your own experiences and thoughts. And we're going to relay all this to Mr. President and the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ify.
A lot of issues came up while the meeting was going on. And some of them bordered on the trust that the people have for the governments. And most of the things that they are reacting to is that they don't really trust the governments. Would you please enlighten us on what the government is doing to earn more trust from the people that they are governing?
Yes, like I told them in the hall, you will recall that for a long time Nigeria was under military rule. We went from one military dictatorship to the other until we came back to democracy. And we're very happy. The present government is a democratic government. Over 22 million Nigerians voted for President Jonathan for him to win his election. And a whole lot of things the government is doing now is to address those issues that were not given attention during the military regime. Many of our laws are being reviewed and revised to match with current realities in the area of security, in the area of trade and investment, in the area of education, health, gender empowerment, youth development and empowerment. I mentioned before security and safety, water resources, area of critical infrastructure like roads, power, and the whole lot of them. The government is very passionate about proliferation of small arms and light weapons. So a lot is being done around our borders at this time. And, mass transportation too. These are all part of the transformation agenda that Mr. President gave us on his election, or on his swearing in as president, as what he's putting forward to use and transform Nigeria of his dream. In the area of transportation, he's talking about mass transportation, expansion and reactivation of our railways, the waterways, and all that. So these are some of the things the government is putting in place. And we're already working in different areas and at different levels. Work is going on, and the issue of expanding resources around the petroleum sector by deregulation, which should offer a playing ground for investors and other competitors to come on board. That was what informed the deregulation and subsidy question. But anyway, Mr. President yielded to pressure, and instead of fully deregulating the sector, the downstream sector, he's reduced the amount of subsidy that goes in. And of course, expectedly, that's why the fuel price has increased a little bit. Well, has increased to 97 naira. But he also stated that the money recovered from this subsidy will be used in those some of the areas to achieve the transformation agenda and the Millennium Development Goals. So that's where we are.
Well, talking about the security and investment, we're here in Atlanta, and in my everyday interaction with the international community, a lot of people would really love to come to Nigeria as investors. But one of the problems that they have is the problem of security. They are reading everything that is happening, the bombing going on now in Nigeria, and a lot of them who have even started to make moves to apply for visas and start going to Nigeria for investment are pulling back. They're getting a pushback now. What is the government doing precisely about the security of the people, both the people that are already in the country and those that plan to come back to the country, either as investors or Nigerians in diaspora?
Well, the Nigerian government is doing a lot in the area of security, but we must also realize that the challenges are huge. The terrorist issues are with us now. They were elsewhere before Nigeria, and they're going to continue to move, because we also have seen now that terrorists has increasingly becoming a global thing. And terrorist attacks are not just the prerogative of Nigerians. Terrorist attacks have happened in the United States, they've happened elsewhere. When it happened in the United States, we did not withdraw from the US. Investors did not stop coming to the US. So I don't think investors should stop coming to Nigeria because we are undergoing under the siege of terrorism. We will overcome it because our security agencies are also working. Many arrests so far, many arrests have been made till date, and they continue to try and convict some of these people. Our laws are being reviewed in line of current security challenges and realities, and that will further strengthen the hands of the law and security agencies to deal with terrorists and those identified or convicted as either sponsors or operators in the field of terrorism. And in addition to all those, the federal government has established the Counter-Terrorism Unit in the Office of the National Security Advisor. And the federal government has called on the international community to join hands with us to help fight the scourge. The Nigerian government and the Counter-Terrorism Unit is working closely with the United Nations Counter-Terrorism Unit too, and the Global Counter-Terrorism Forum to fight this scourge. In addition to this other group, we are working with other multilaterals and nations of the world, in that area, sharing information, sharing intelligence, capacity building, and updating information and all that. So the government is doing a lot. Recently, Mr. President announced the state of emergency in some local government areas in the key states on this terrorist attack, and that is helping to increase and strengthen security in those areas and elsewhere. But in all, the security agencies are at large. They're all working hard, and people have been encouraged to be part of it, to help them by giving information and by being alert themselves, so that you can notice changes in people, you can notice movements that are untoward, you can, there are a lot of things going. And recently, with the border control, the president has also instructed that some areas of our borders be closed temporarily, and that is yielding results. The other day, some trucks moving arms into Nigeria were apprehended at the borders, and the people are again undergoing trial. And such arrests have continued to happen, even those that are announced and those that are not announced. You see, the security thing is not something you continue to publish on the pages of newspaper. But I want to assure you, I want to assure Nigerians everywhere, I want to also assure the international community on behalf of our president and our government that Nigeria is working very hard to ensure that we'll have a secure and safe nation for people of all nations to come and live in.
Thank you very much. Just one more question before I have your final thoughts. I know we talked about the response of the international community. is pouring in. It's positive.
Well, yes,
are you getting the kind of response?
Yeah, because
support that you need?
Nigerians are also lovable and well-respected people. Those of you out here have made a lot of friends for our country, and and trade and investment actually rule the world. It's all about economy, and Nigeria, with 160 million people, is a huge market for any investor. So people will come, but we are just trying to make the place safe for them. Not that they won't come, they will come, but we want to make sure that when they come, they can do their businesses safely, make their money, make their impact, and be able to go home also safe. So that's all. But as we're coming, they will come, and they're coming because they are our friends, and many of these countries we have bilateral relations with them, and those agreements must be serviced.
Exactly. Now, the people that came today, a lot of them came with the burden of finding out what the government is doing. For those of them that want to go back home, a lot of them don't, really getting ready to go home. Like, they are excited about home, and they want to be part of what is happening there. And most of them would like to find out what the government is doing for the people, to make it easy for them to
yes, Mr. President just signed into law the Diaspora Commission Bill.
Okay.
And by the time it's operational, it will address a lot of issues about diaspora. And it came into being in the first place because the country is passionate about its own. Those of them that are outside, that's why the bill even went through. It has gone to the National Assembly, passed through the National Assembly, and the President has signed. If it's a country that does not place value on its nationals elsewhere, it wouldn't even have, gotten to where it is today. So we are happy with our nationals elsewhere, and we will be happy to take care of everybody. And that is why, that bill has come, proposed in the first instance, passed the House of Representatives, passed through the Senate, and then the presidency. So we're happy with you Nigerians in diaspora, and we can't wait to have you back, because there's a huge potential in Nigerians in diaspora, locked, well, not locked up, well, being offered the international community. So those few potentials we would also like to be concentrated to help us develop home. From there we can help the international community to get developed. Like these talents I'm facing here today.
Thank you very much. Very much. We really appreciate you having this time with us. But do you have any final thoughts that you want to tell, you want to share with the people of Atlanta at least?
Yes, I just want to thank them for the sacrifice of coming out en masse today to welcome us and to share thoughts with us today. We've benefited from their wealth of experience. We are assuring them that we're waiting to welcome them back home, and we want to tell them that we love them, that the President loves them and wishes you all very well. We would like you to bring home your children so that they will know that they are Nigerians. Teach them our local languages so that they can represent us anywhere, and also be comfortable and grassroots successors of their parents, so that in future they can be part of the polity of the place, and that will be very good.
Thank you so very much.